How do we translate these ideas politically? I'm active with the Green Party. How do we change people's minds? Give them a Terence tape.
How do we translate these things politically? Well, one way is by coming out of the closet. I mean, if you look around you, we look pretty much like everybody else walking around on the street. We've self-selected to be here tonight because of our interest in this subject. But in the same way that black people had to get their act together, gay people had to get... You get no respect in this society unless you stand up for what you believe in. And too many of us have been hounded into silence and paranoia on this psychedelic issue. I mean, the just say no mentality and the oh, how could you approach to people who take psychedelics. I think we have to be a little more strident, a little more visible, and then paradoxically, we have to deepen our own commitment to these things by striving for ever more heroic doses, ever deeper penetration into the mystery. So that will both strengthen our social core and then our willingness to be forthright about what we stand for and believe in will bring other people into this. One of the most satisfying experiences that I have as a public person is when, after giving some kind of a talk, somebody will come up to me afterwards and say, I thought I was crazy until I heard you talk. And now I realize there are at least two of us. Well, there are hundreds of us, thousands of us. The realities that we are talking about are real. It ain't pathology, it ain't hallucination or delusion or social irresponsibility or all this other malarkey. It's the lost continent, the lost other half of the human mind. And as long as we ignore it, pretend it doesn't exist, or are somehow cowed into keeping shut up about it, then we are infantile. We accept a kind of big brother umbrella over our reality. We should be as free to discuss this, talk about it, and work it out among our friends and significant other as we do our sexuality or our investment portfolios or our vacation plans. It's just part of being a human being. And many of you, I'm sure, have heard me say, to go from birth to the grave without having a psychedelic experience is, to me, as creepy a notion as to go from birth to the grave without ever having a sexual experience. It means you led a life of self-chosen infantilism and ignorance. And that's not what life is for. Life is some kind of moment suspended between eternities in which you may have a real opportunity to get your shit together and figure out what's going on. But if you run around saying, not that experience, and God forbid that experience, and I don't want to go there, well, then they'll just plant you and lower your box, and you'll be another person who never quite got their act together. This is not what we're striving for. We want life to be as rich, deep, complete, high as possible. Do it.
Maybe